Morning, everyone. So Katie and I are here today to show you what's cooking in Mitel Labs. There's a common thread that was through a lot of the demos you've seen this morning. And that common thread is our next generation app platform. And so I want to spend a bit of time talking about what that platform is and why it matters to everybody in this room. That platform is made up of two significant pieces. One is a cloud optimized application platform, not easily coming off the tongue, but it's a really important thing. This is a real change in the broad industry. It's an application and development environment that was optimized to develop in cloud. It's largely been used in consumer apps up until now, apps like Netflix, Pinterest, Expedia, and it's significant because it offers a really big step function in productivity. Probably the biggest one I've seen in my whole career, over 10 times. It's proven on a number of apps, on scaling and globalization, and it has a large development community. You couple that together with a whole bunch of Mitel assets. So by Mitel assets, we mean the PBXs, the applications, the phones that we all know and love. But what we've done is we've abstracted that with a microservice abstraction layer. And that microservice abstraction layer makes these assets full cloud citizens. On top of that, we put a platform that links it together, so now we can develop applications using the power of both of these bottoms. So what are we going to do with all that power? What we're going to do with that power is we're going to make apps. We're going to make a lot of apps. And it's not just because making apps is fun that we're going to make a lot of them. We're making a lot of apps because what we've found, and you heard it in the panel today, is the value of real-time communications is embedding it into workflows, making it relevant to the way that people work today, not going to some other application. So we're going to build a whole series of segment applications, whether that's focused at verticals or groups like field service. So what's coming down the pipe? Bluebird's coming down the pipe, and you're going, Bluebird? That doesn't sound like a Mitel app. And we're doing something a little bit different today than what we normally would do, is we're showing you a little bit farther into our development process. And we don't have a public name for it. So you're seeing the R&D name, code name for our product. All our next generation apps are named after birds. And you say, well, why would we use Bluebird? Well, Bluebird is the first little brave bird that comes north every spring, the first one. And it's a great harbinger of a big change to come. So we thought it was a great name for our first app. So what community did we choose to focus up first? We chose to focus at the small business segment in North America, in the Americas. And the reason we did that is we felt it was an underserved market. So you look at all the UC applications that are out there, and as an industry, not just Mitel, but as an industry, the attach rate of UC on the low end of the market, in the SMB market, is atrociously small, less than 10%. So we said, hey, that's a great opportunity. And then we approached it in a different way around development. And because this is so important to focus at the communities, we've changed our development process. A number of you were involved in this process over the first part of this year, where we did focus groups with channel partners, dozens of them, several dozen customers, where we progressively developed and mapped that use cases. Much like what Nikki was saying, what they had done for first responders. So what we do is we develop the application or mock up the application, we show it to customers, we get feedback, we do it again and again. And the net result is a very interesting app for small business. And we want to give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what both the process and that application looks like.
The way we communicate is changing. Our connected world is undergoing a digital transformation, creating fundamental shifts in the way we work and live. With a strategy focused on innovative application development, Mitel is transforming our own business so we can meet your specific business communication needs. But the way we communicate is not one size fits all. We are working closer and closer with our customers, and we understand that different businesses have very different business needs. That's why Mitel is changing the way we're building applications. We are breaking complex communication workflows into powerful and flexible building blocks, enabling the development of customized business applications tailored to the way you work and the way you connect. And with our application platform open to customers, partners, and business app developers, we are making it simple to build the personalized communication experience your business needs. You get the exact functionality you need without the complexity and cost of the things you don't. The possibilities are endless. No matter the industry you're in, retail, healthcare, education, hospitality, any industry, Mitel is building applications that are specifically optimized for you. With easy-to-use intuitive tools that are natively integrated into your phone, our applications streamline and simplify the way you communicate, so you can connect faster, easier, and seamlessly. In an era where your customer's experience can make or break your business, we want to enable you to communicate exactly the way you want to. Mitel is a company with one purpose and one vision: to provide seamless communication that transforms businesses. Your business.
Yeah, pretty cool. And that application, that whole business under 2 clicks away, so everybody in your business, your customers and so on, has been a real hit with the small business customers we talked to. In fact, on our last focus group, over half of them said they wanted to buy that app. In fact, they wanted to buy it right then, so we better hurry up and get this done. But, so going forward, all our apps are going to be built this way. There's some of you in this room that are going to be involved in Raven, which is our next app in terms of the focus groups that are kicking off in that space. And generating these applications focused at communities is a really significant opportunity for all of us. But it's really just a step in a much bigger journey. Mitel plans to release this platform, this same powerful micro apps platform, to all of you, to our customers, our channel partners, so you can start creating value yourselves. And by moving down this curve, so when you look at this graph, what it shows as you reduce the effort to develop applications, the size of community you can focus at gets smaller and smaller. And as we had talked through the various presentations today, we've laid out how focusing at smaller communities can deliver higher value. The move to microservices moves us quite a bit down this curve. What we're going to show you next is a visual way of coding, a zero-code development environment. Very, very powerful. So to bring this to life, Katie and I are going to do a live demo. So the backstory here is Katie and I got excited about this idea. We're a little bit down the road, a not too distant future, and we got really excited about this idea of the values getting closer and closer to the customer. So we quit our jobs at Mitel.
Quit them.
And we started a new company.
We did.
And what did we call it?
Something with an awesome ring to it. Jim, Cat, and Associates.
Love it. So Jim, Cat, and Associates here in San Antonio focus at selling value to a whole range of different kind of customers. And I've just been out to lunch with a local HVAC company. And I'm coming back, and I want to talk to Katie about that opportunity.
Jim, welcome back.
Hey,
How
Katie.
was your meeting with Cool Tech?
It was great. They're a really great group of people. They're a little bigger than I thought. They have over 40 techs driving around in trucks.
Oh, I see them all over the city.
Yeah. It's what you kind of expect. It's, guys in trucks, and they have equipment, and they're billing and forms and all that sort of stuff. But there were a couple things that were different,
Okay.
I was surprised when I was talking to them how interested they were in ramping new techs. It was a big issue. Apparently, they have a big turnover in techs. As the CEO said, I train these guys, and then I lose a certain amount of them, and that whole ramp up is a real painful process.
Yeah, it must be hard for them.
Yeah, and there's a little other fact. I committed that we're going to do a demo tomorrow with them, and we're going to show how we can change their business.
Tomorrow, 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
to transform their business.
Yeah, we're up for it.
Okay.
So, how are we going to do that?
Well, I think the first thing I'm going to do is, how about we go check the Mitel catalog and see what kind of micro apps they might have already built for us.
Always a good place to start.
Okay.
All right. So, one of the joys of becoming 50.
Get on those spectacles.
On they come.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. The Mitel Outcome Catalog. These guys at Mitel, they're just brilliant. Look at this thing. So you got all these solutions, right? And they're organized by things you just know. So like, if I'm going to a school, I know I'm going to look at the education one.
That's right.
Right? Or if I'm going to, wherever to, education, sales.
Services,
like, and they've got a whole wonderful search thing, hospitality, you can move all around, manufacturing.
You're killing my time here. Can you just go to the services tab right there and see what's there?
All right. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, look at this one. Even looks like an HVAC guy.
Yeah.
Let's have a little closer look there. All right, look at this, all the information about the solution. Hey, this uses Pronto Forms. Isn't that the stuff we used with those guys last month?
Last month, yep.
Yeah, they
worked out really nicely.
Yeah, that's the guys that turn paper forms into mobile forms. Yeah, that'll work for these guys for sure.
It's awesome.
All right, let's look at some of the value props and see if we've got a real good kicker in here. Okay, invoice reductions.
Look, increase in service efficiency of new staff, 15%.
Hey, this looking good.
I think this might work for us.
All right, so, well, let's try to make this real.
Okay, out of the way.
Yeah.
Let me throw it into our own catalog for Jim Catco and Associates.
Yeah, going to clone it. So, yeah, move it out of the standard Mitel store, and in she comes.
Right, into ours. Awesome. Look at all these other projects that we worked on.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff with this.
There's a lot there.
All right, okay, let's take a look. Let's see what kind of back-end things we might need, some prereqs. Okay, so we need the Mitel Cloud Link demo environment. We've already got that set up.
Yeah.
Pronto Forms, as you said, that mobile forms application environment, that's awesome stuff. We've already got that from the last guy.
Yeah.
So I think we're ready to go here. But let's see what the workflow is actually going to do. I love this development environment because it's not like I'm a coder or anything, but I can look at this and see exactly what it's going to do, and it's easy for me to change if I need to. So I see here that the trigger to kick off this whole application is that a technician's going to use Pronto Forms to initiate a help request.
Yeah.
Then it's going to check the presence for available technicians, and if it finds an available tech, I can initiate a chat.
All right, let's run it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, let's save, publish.
Okay,
all right.
Let's get going.
I really like to get into the customer's shoes, so I think we might be missing something.
Good point. Yeah, we should try to get in the mind of our customers.
That's right. Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Fantastic, and it's a little warmer. All right, this
There
HVAC system needs some work, I think.
Katie, looking good.
I like it,
Yeah.
but, Jim, I think you could use a little something extra.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, just something. Oh, there we go. Awesome.
Oh,
While you're getting all
total HVAC immersion.
suited up over there, it's good stuff. I'm going to grab my cell phone and launch my Pronto Forms application. So the nice thing about the mobile application called Pronto Forms from another company, it's not a Mitel developed application, is that it takes all those paper-based forms and clipboards and everything that the technicians are currently using and makes it an electronic application.
Cool.
So I am not casted yet. Let's double check.
There we go.
Where's Darren when I need him? Sorry, guys.
That's all right. So as Katie fires that up, what this is that what we're going to walk through is the actual application. Here we come with the connection to the screen right now is not working. You've got to think of all the other variables in this, and Chromecast doesn't work. But anyways, we'll get her going. But so the environment that you saw that Katie was showing earlier is a real live environment. So when she was looking at those blocks, each one of those blocks are connected to microservices that are running back in our next generation development environment. There you go.
Now let them see you sweat. Okay. So I love this mobile app. It lets me access mobile forms in the field. So if I was a technician, I just pick the inspection list for HVAC. Might be a newer technician. I need to tell people where I am, why I'm there, what time I'm there. So let's just acquire my location. I am not in Africa, but I am in San Antonio. Good stuff. All right, then I get this online questionnaire that I can answer questions. Okay, so heat exchanger, inspect for cracks and deterioration. Sure.
Good work, Katie.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, I'm good at this. Burners. I'm gonna take a picture. All right, ladies and gentlemen, smile for the camera. Nice. Okay, you're now included in my checklist summary. All right, a fan switch checked and adjusted.
Huh, what's that?
I'm a new technician. I have no idea. I think I'm going to use the help key here and see if I can get some help. So I did notice in the workflow that I could see a YouTube video. So
Yeah.
look at this. I can hit watch and do some self-help in the field.
Riveting?
That's
Yeah.
not very helpful, and I'm kind of impatient. So I think I'm going to reach out to my company experts. And this is what's kicking off our workflow. Oh, great. So I see Jim Davies, you're available. Darren's not available. Bob's not available. Hey, Rich, can you help me out? Rich?
Pick me.
No, we'll stick with Jim. All right, so kicking off a help request to Jim and a chat session, and oh, looks like it's using Bluebird in the background, Jim.
Yeah, look at that. I got a text sent right here to me. That's great. And you said you think it's using the Bluebird app? You know, that's the Mitel small business app, and this is built on top of it?
That's right.
Oh, that's a great opportunity for it to come back and do another upgrade for these guys and give them some more value. That is so cool. You know, this is great. You know, I can see how you could text back and forth and this might work, but, you know, it kind of brings something to mind that came up over lunch, which was the guys at Cool Tech were saying that, you know, when they have a junior tech, one of the really disruptive things is if they don't know what they're doing, they have to send a senior guy. And the senior guy's on another job, so the junior guy's waiting, and they have to disrupt another job. So I don't know if they're going to really, like they physically send a guy there. I don't know if text is going to cut it.
Yeah, it is kind of a visual thing to work on.
It is, yeah, they're complicated. Nothing's the same, right? So it's,
Yeah.
do you think we could do something like video?
Let's go check the workflow and see if it's one of the actions that's available to us.
All right.
All right, let's check her out. Okay, so if I come back to the PC, I look at my workflow here. I'm just going to get rid of the chat option. Oops. And then click on this little arrow and see what kind of actions we have available. Ooh, look at them all.
Yeah, look at that. There's Alexa. There's all sorts of things in there.
Chat, LinkedIn, Twitter.
But yeah, video. Video is what we want. Yeah.
There it is.
That's the one.
Yep. Thanks. You're a great backseat driver over there.
What would you do without me?
Ooh, what did I just do?
I have to know. Just kill
double
that.
clicking. Eesh, crazy. All right. All right, so there's our video.
Yeah.
And save it.
Yeah.
Publish it.
And
Let's see if this works. This could be the quickest demo I've ever created. Okay, so I'm just going to go right back into the form here and look at the gas line. Is the leak checked from the furnace shut-off valve to the burners?
and you don't know what you're doing, eh? Okay.
This is definitely one I want some help with, so I'm going to connect with you. And let's see. If this doesn't work out, then they can watch us explode in real time.
Yeah. No, here we go. A link. Do I accept the video call from? Yeah, I guess I will. All right. So now what we're going to do is this should be a video, I suppose.
So look good, everyone.
Hey, there I am.
There you are. You're looking a little pasty.
Yeah, and there. Thanks, Katie. There is everybody there. That's amazing.
That's fantastic.
So you just changed the workflow. You created a new app.
I did.
Incredible.
And I didn't have to know what I was doing. It was awesome. So thank you, Mitel, for making it easy.
Thank you, Katie. Now, I want to pick out a couple things from that. And obviously, it was live. I think everybody got that feeling in terms of how it was going. So yeah, it's a live demo, and it's connected back in. So those changes are actually creating a new app real time. And the other thought I want to pull out is to think about the contrast with today's world. Imagine if you had that idea, and you went back to one of the large manufacturing organizations and said, you know what, I want to take this little innovation, I want to get it done. Think how much work you'd have to do to convince that company to do that. Think of the likelihood for an innovation like this, it was going to happen, approaching zero. And even if you were successful convincing the company, you know, think how long it would take. A year, 18 months to get that innovation back in your hands. So think how much innovation and good ideas have got locked up by the way our business works, right? Hundreds of ideas. right? So what we're moving forward with this strategy is to unlock those ideas, to let that innovation find its way to market, whether you're a customer developing new ideas or whether you're a channel creating ideas for your customers. So obviously, we're really excited about this, what we're doing in Mitel Labs. We're really cranked up. I think we're in the middle of something really big, and we really feel it. But and then we're looking forward to going down this road, but it's not a journey that we can do on our own. If we want to realize the value of the power of this, we need this room to come along with us. We need our customers and our partners to be on that journey. So, and if every journey starts with the first step. What's the first step on this one? I think in a lot of big changes in life, it really comes down to people, doesn't it? You know, you have people in your organizations that can help you make this change. What you need to do is find them, encourage them, give them the time and space, and magical stuff will happen. I know because that's what we did at Mitel, and you're seeing the results of it. It's worked really well for us. The second one is come and create with us. Mitel is going to run a DX boot camp, and a DX boot camp is a place where you can bring your ideas, and Mitel will help you turn your first few ideas into your first few apps. It's a great first step on a journey. It's a great first step together. Thanks very much.